So when you're saying I can only date somebody on my level, when you're using the fact that black women outnumber black men, right? One. Then you talk about homosexual black men coming out of that, incarcerated black men coming out of that. Now you left with people that are out on the streets, and because these men don't fit your quote unquote success level, you got slim pickings. It's not that the niggas is not choosing you, you not choosing them.
Yo, it's Geekd Up Reacts, right back where you at, man. Happy coming to you, my co-host. I got Rome and Q with me in the studio here today for another hot video. Before we do all that, man, I know what it is. Give y'all that love and support because y'all stay giving it back to us. Keep liking, sharing, subscribing. You know we're going to keep doing that thing. Yo, so we got a heated debate, discussion, argument that went on the Joe Budden podcast. Recently, Quinta Brunson had filed divorce from her husband. I think it left everyone, you know, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people in a little bit of shock, you know what I'm saying, because she was in an interracial relationship. It was just discussing it. And Ish, you know what I'm saying, Ish, Ice, and Lamont Hill, they was all kind of just talking about dating outside your race and kind of what that looks like, and more so just like the justification behind why some people may date outside their race. So it was a heated debate, heated discussion. We're going to listen to it, and then we're going to give our take and opinion on it. But make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe. Let's get it popping.
To Brunson divorce, right?
Yeah.
And I said that I was surprised. I didn't know that she was married for one, and then also I didn't know that she was married to a white dude.
Yeah, she keep him tucked. She's keeping tucked.
Cool. I did say that it's interesting to me because I do have a little bit of a that's interesting feel when I see someone that I consider kind of pro-black married to someone who's white.
I feel less like that for black women than I do for black men who make that same choice.
All right, now
Wait.
you got a rebuttal for that?
Less like
No,
that.
let him elaborate, please.
I do a double take in both cases. I don't judge. I'm not the person that says you don't love.
I'm not
black people,
judging
you're not
you.
pro-black. I don't say that. But I make a different choice because I know a lot of the black women I find in those powerful positions who end up with white men, black men didn't choose them, and so they're often going where they're loved. I'll give you an example. When Whoopi Goldberg started dating Ted Danson, an old school reference for black people was mad, and you know what Whoopi said? How many of y'all would date me? That was her rhetorical question. And obviously, she never encountered those dudes, but most niggas I know that was talking shit wouldn't have dated Whoopi Goldberg.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What do you say to the athlete that says the exact same thing, that they didn't want me?
No,
There's a lot of them dudes that say, yo, they didn't want me when I was in school and none of that shit. So I went over there where I was wanted.
That
They
feels a little
say that
different.
all the time.
And all the time.
Say it all the
The
time.
man's opinion is not going to be validated in this instance. So it's almost a
That's what it
futile
sounds like.
It
argument.
just feels like apples and oranges. It just feels like apples and
And
oranges.
it's not.
not.
And it shouldn't be.
No, here's why it's apples and oranges. It's a difference between saying Whoopi Goldberg is in the NFL and they still don't want her.
Okay.
Yo, I gotta jump in really quick here. I didn't want to say it the first time because I didn't want to be ignorant. Whoopi's getting slid by black dick.
Yo.
That's happened in life. If we need to bleep that, we can. But I just don't want to keep painting Whoopi out
Like
to
no,
be.
like there was no black man that found her.
I think I think Whoopi Goldberg is beautiful. And sincerely, for me, it's just about.
She may not have been a sex symbol, but
No, I think she's a sex symbol.
she's been famous her whole life. The same rules apply.
And for sure, anybody who's famous can get somebody at all times. But what she, I'm just saying what she communicated outwardly, which was nobody was trying to wipe. She wasn't trying to get wifed. You know what I mean? I don't know what she's getting slid or not, but I'm saying she wasn't getting wifed. That was her thing. And certainly not by the black equivalent of Ted Danson, who was a huge star / sex symbol in the 1980s. I mean, he was the biggest thing going at one point.
Over?
Ted Danson,
Yeah, Ted Danson was the man. Cheers.
Yeah.
They did the blackface thing.
He was Sam on Cheers, right?
Yeah, then they fucked it up.
So when I talk to black women who have these experiences, a lot of times what I hear them say is, and not all of them, I know some of them just went to white schools and just don't love black people. That's a different thing. That's different. But what I'm saying is somebody like Quinta, who I know didn't have that experience. I know where Quinta grew up. We went to the same high school. You know what I mean? I'm much older, but like, I know what her experiences were. I know she loves black people, and I know that before she was on, she wasn't getting that level of attention and care. Or let me not speak for her. A lot of black women in her position were not. And so I'm assuming that I'll be more inclined to read her more with more grace than I would somebody who had different options. That's all I'm saying. And I think the difference between Ice, what you're saying, and what the other thing is, it's one thing to say, when I was poor, I couldn't get this type of person, and now or when I wasn't famous, I couldn't get this type of person. That's a legitimate concern. But there were black women that would
pull your mic up, Mark.
There were black women that would choose black men in that time. Maybe not the ones you wanted. Maybe not the ones you. But that's different to me than.
What's the difference? Because you kind of caping right now.
I'm not caping.
You are very much caping.
You are. Both sides.
I want to hear
What I'm saying is they're different. You can still think that they're wrong, but they're not the same thing.
They are, because you just said that, the black athlete could have got black women, maybe not the ones he wanted. So equivalently, on the opposite side of that spectrum, Quinta or any other black woman could have gotten a black man, and maybe not the man that she wanted.
And what I'm saying is, what they're communicating is they haven't been successful in that way. They haven't been able to do
that.
That's what the black man was saying.
I'm not hearing black men say that. If they're saying that, that's different. I'm not hearing them say.
That's what Ice's argument was. I said that the men are saying that they didn't like me.
Yeah, but the they he's talking about are often the biracial, long hair down their back.
You make
That's an assumption. That's an assumption. That's an assumption.
It's not an assumption.
You inserted that.
You telling me that an all-state NFL, an all-state high school player, or an all-American college player couldn't get a woman? That's what you're telling me.
Maybe not the one that he wanted.
Maybe not the one that he wanted
before he became All-American.
What I'm saying is, I have seen directly the equivalent of that in entertainment on the women's side have something different. Now, again, you can still make the argument that they should make a different choice. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying I read them with more grace. There's a difference between saying before I got famous, nobody wanted me, and saying even when I'm famous, they don't want me. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying they're not the same.
No, but you are creating that narrative to support your idea.
No, I'm saying that's what they say.
The same way so listen, cool, because we gonna start screaming.
Yeah.
Why did you dismiss Ice saying this is what they are saying?
I'm not dismissing it. I'm saying it's not. All I'm saying is they're two different cases. They're not. It's not the male equivalent of that. Saying they didn't want me before when I was broke is not the same thing as saying
Ice didn't bring up money. Ice said, they don't want me.
That's all I said.
He said before I got on. The implication.
He didn't say that.
I said back then.
What's back then? Before what?
When I was in high school or whatever.
When you weren't famous.
They were not checking for me. The women that I tried to holler at was
okay. So what's the difference when they were in high school and now?
You just said, you can't tell me that an All-American can't get a girl.
Now they're in a relationship.
You just said All-American can't get a girl. He don't have no money. You said that.
Right. But to me, the turning point isn't the All-American. I don't think the narrative they have
what you said.
Right, but I wasn't starting with, for me, the back then is before college, not before NFL. That's what I'm saying. Because I think once,
so if you using that as the black woman saying before college they didn't want me?
Pull your mic up.
You serious?
Say that again?
You're saying that the black woman said before college? Because now we got...
No, I'm saying it's even worse. That's my point. I'm saying successful black women are still having that problem. Black women who are at the top of their fields are still having a problem finding a peer.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I can't do? I hate that because my girl is white. I really can't expound on this situation.
Let me just ask my
because I really want to... Yo, dog, that's not true.
Muffin, cuz.
That's not true, number one. And what you got to stop doing...
When you say it's not true, what do you mean it's not true? What do you mean it's not true?
That the successful black women are not finding these men that
based on what?
Based on whatever you said that they...
No, I'm basing it on statistics. Well, on what basis are you saying that they're able to find them?
You said you was basing it on what they told you. That's what you said.
I'm saying that the women who I speak to have this experience, yes. Yeah. But on terms of evidence, black women are the least marriageable group when matched by their education and their income. They're the least racial group likely to marry somebody of their same education or income by facts.
Cool. I'm agreeing with you.
Right.
So let me start.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not just anecdotal.
I'm agreeing with you.
Right.
Cool. So now this is a numbers game, and I don't want you to cut me off. I want you to hear my point.
Let me see if I can move out the way so it's necessary.
No, he good.
But I don't want to voice a guy talking to you for the whole time.
Fam, so listen to this.
Yeah.
If now you're starting to talk about...
Now y'all getting into promo land now. Y'all getting into promo land now.
When you start talking about successful black women, right? When you start talking about successful black women, I want you to now put two parameters on what success means so that I can continue.
I just did.
What
Success, it said money and education.
I did. I said
Give me a dollar amount and give me an educational level. So we don't have no gray area.
Corey, cut the stove on real
For
quick.
me,
It's early.
it's
No,
about...
it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Let them get it. Let them
No,
get
I'm
shit
go
on.
ahead, just saying, let me see it.
It's
I don't smell nothing yet, is all I'm saying.
Not to turn it on.
College degree in 6 figures a year.
Masters, and how much?
You're distracting them.
That's not exactly my argument.
I'm asking you to
Because you
set
said
the
these are the
parameters.
two parameters.
Ice, it's a 1v1.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Let's start with my question. I gotta
get out of here.
What I'm saying
because I still got something else
Help
for
move this shit
him.
along.
What I'm saying is, for me, the metric of success was finding somebody who was matched. So if we both have master's degree, sure. But if I'm a doctor and you see what I'm saying? It's about the match for me. Now
So all right, so now
is that reasonable?
no, it's not. But I'm gonna still go.
Why is that not reasonable?
Because you're not setting parameters. So
I am
can't-
setting a parameter. I'm saying someone of your same level.
Can I
That is
ask
a
a
parameter.
question?
It's just not the
Can
way
I
you
ask a
want.
question? Is this argument about entertainers or about educating successful?
Now I'm just going
black
across the board. It's just I'm saying
people.
that's my point. This is a bigger societal issue. Or it's not. Quentin Brunson is just one person.
So
But I think it's more. I think just to bring it all back to how it all started. I think Imani was kind of speaking on people who are in the entertainment business, who are out front, and who are leading, who
Yeah,
are on
with some of their
screens
thoughts
and stuff
and
like
views.
that, and like add like those public figures. So I actually think. Just for the sake of the,
Okay,
but if y'all gonna move the combo to somewhere else, then take it somewhere else.
Listen,
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
listen,
Go ahead. I'm not.
so this is my point, right? Because this is what happens. It's a numbers game. And it's a probability game. And this is what everybody fails to just dismiss to get their ideal and what their point is and what their bullshit narrative all across is. Boom. If you start talking about successful women, black women are the leading people in climbing up the corporate ladder and kicking ass and taking numbers more than any other racial demographic. Black women are flying up that ladder. Cool? Black men are not moving at the same, nowhere near, actually, the success rate that black women are. So when you're saying I can only date somebody on my level, when you're using the fact that black women outnumber black men, right? One, then you talk about homosexual black men coming out of that, incarcerated black men coming out of that. Now you left with people that are out on the streets, and because these men don't fit your quote unquote success level, you got slim pickings. It's not that the niggas is not choosing you, you not choosing them.
Okay.
And that's
325 to start.
yeah, like, right? So look, you not picking those men because they don't meet your quote unquote success level, and the numbers are not in your favor to have enough men to meet your success level. So now when you do meet the man that is handsome, successful, got good dick, that's fashionable, good sense of humor, he's smart, and he all of that shit on your box, guess what now? Because you make 300 grand, you don't fucking necessarily meet his box because he don't need your money now. So now he looking for Halle Berry or fucking a woman that you might not say. So now the women say, you know what? They don't want us. They going over here to Becky and they going over here to Maria. Y'all ain't want the nigga that was making 75 or 80 grand. That was a good ass black man that was making 75 or 80 grand. But because you put that, he not on my success level parameter out there, that's why you fucking single. It's not that black men don't want you. That's why you single. You don't want the nigga that might not be at your level of quote unquote education and success. Because the numbers are skewed. If I got 10 people to pick from and it's 100 women up here, y'all only picking out of the same 10 niggas. That's why we see all these athletes and all these entertainer niggas fucking all the same women. Because them the only women that dudes that they want to fuck.
So, a couple
I
things.
was with you till the end.
Yeah,
Bro,
You was cooking.
I'm talking about it. Take the
Every time y'all go athlete, I take it personal. Like leave me out of this shit. I ain't feel me. I'm up here married and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Take the athletes out of it. Take the athletes out of it. Let's say black men that make 200K. Whatever their profession is. Let's say black men that make 200, 250, regardless of whatever their profession is. Bro, that's not 1% of the United States.
Right. So, a couple things.
It's not 1% of the country, my nigga.
The argument you're disputing isn't the one I'm making, right? But I'll engage it because I still think it's worth engaging. But that's not. I mean,
How?
how what?
You are saying, the women are saying
You gotta respond,
that the
man.
men on their success level, these are your words,
Yo, crazy shit. That's
Started to get good at the end there. I like that. Started to pick up there at the end. I like that. That was good.
so
combos.
because the whole thing was that Lamont was just trying to justify his reasoning of why he feels like there should be no shock value when it comes to black women dating outside their race, because they've justified or they've said or mentioned in the past that it's black women, like black men essentially don't want them or whatever. And it's nice, they
Why he
arguing
gives
the
them
opposite.
grace.
Right, he gives them grace more so, right. Personally, like, I'm gonna start off with this. I think it's crazy to even try to give grace to either side, honestly. And I couldn't even I struggled really a lot to kind of like side with Lamont. Cause I like, as Ish was explaining it a lot more, and I'm just like, I'm just the same things that's going over my mind. It's just like, that shit don't matter, because what it really is the expectation of what you want out of X and Y person that you're trying to be with. Like, and that's what we talked about that shit before. Like, when you get put into a certain type of tax bracket, a certain type of woman ain't going to Chipotle looking for niggas or looking for men. Like she going to the finest of Ruth Chris or, you know, Forward HR, X, Y, and Z, whatever restaurants, you know, just scenario or whatever. But it's like, yeah, like if you of X dollar amount and X status in life, it's like I highly doubt that your expectation is low enough to be able to accept the average man that is a good ass guy person, got all the other things. He just don't got the like the title, the job title, or the dollar amount that you know what I'm saying, that you want or whatever. My fault. All right.
No, you're good. I want you to jump in there, but I want to say this real quick, just because you said the Lamont joint. He lost me when he said something. He lost me when he said they could get girls, maybe just not the girls they want. He lost me right when he said that. Because why the hell would anybody, men or women, date somebody that they don't want to date for the sake of dating somebody? Like, what, like that's not even a valid. Like, he lost me when he brought up those guys back in those days. You know, the like he was talking about the high school football player. He could have got girls. It may not have been the biracial girl with hair down to her waist like he wanted, but he could have got a girl. That is such a trash. Like, that right there is screaming caping. Like they were saying, that's screaming caping, because that doesn't even make sense. Why would you advise somebody to date somebody that they don't want, all for the betterment of what exactly? What principle that you believe, or principle that you're standing on? That just doesn't even make sense. I have a couple more views on it, of course, as well, but I want you to go first, Ron.
Well, I think that speaks to, I mean, nobody gets their first option, you know. The guy scrolling social media isn't going to get Ari, you know, Fletcher. He's not going to get the Ruby Rose. And, you know, as you live life, there's why there's more to it that goes to, you know, but I agree. No one gets with, you don't marry someone you don't want to be with, because eventually you get with them and you see their personality. And like I said, you make a choice that, like, love is a choice. So it's not, I don't believe attraction to be some, you know, transcendental thing that happens inside your brain. It flip switches. I think it's a choice you make. But that's just speaking of what Quinn said. My opinion on what he said, I think he's caping. I think he's caping for the simple fact of he says, and I'm usually on Mark's side, and Mark said a lot of things that made sense. Like, Mark said factual things, like, but I don't think his logic to where he got kind of loses me, because again, he made the point of, you know, I believe people should be equal. That's what he said. He said people should be equal in their relationship. You should get with someone of equal status to you. Quinn, you can find a black, if finding a black person is what you want to do, you can do that.
Yeah.
And this is why online, I made the argument online. It's like, I'm fine with anyone. I used to champion. I used to, you know, be all pro black and think you black people date black people. I really don't care anymore. And I feel like you should find who you find. But where I have a problem is, I don't think either side, man or woman, should be using the opposite side of their, you know, I don't think they should be using black men or black women as their scapegoat as to why they decide to go outside their race.
Yeah.
I think that's where you come into problems for me. You shouldn't be saying, oh, I'm dating this person because, oh, black men don't, or I'm dating this person, black women
just don't.
Exactly, because if dating a black, because if you could find someone out here, a black person, a black counterpart that could fit your mold, if that was what your mission was, if that's what you really wanted to do, you just found somebody. So just say you found somebody and you know that's just where you ended up. Just do that, stand on that. And then secondly, he argued this thing of being equal. That's not Quinta Brunson's equal. Look at the bro, he's not even an owner. He works in the cannabis industry. That's not her equal. She could 1000% go find his black counterpart in terms of status and looks, and she could 1000% go find that if that's what she wanted to do. Whoopi Goldberg could 1000% go find a black man. That's what she wanted to do. Yeah. So, like, you saying this, if your whole thing of dating equal, they're dating outside the race and still not dating equal in your book. And so, I mean, so how you showing grace?
So
and then they like to go on black guys, you know, this and that, and bring up all these stats, by the way, that I don't see in real life. You know, like I said, I go outside, I see black people with black people. I go outside, I see successful black people with black people. I see, you know what I'm saying? I see men that date down, I see women that date down. I see people that compromise, I see people that make life work. But then last thing I'm gonna say is they talk about, so they put all this on black people can't keep no relationship, they don't get married. They just got divorced. He just divorced her. Yeah. Like 10 days ago.
Yeah.
So I mean,
those statistic arguments are really weird. like they're valid in the sense of like, sure, you ran the numbers and sure these things are true, but like what you just said, Rome, that's not necessarily reflecting everyday life. And who the hell, nigga, I'm not a CPU. Why would I live my life by statistics instead of what is actually happening in my real life? That is the one instance where you should be like, you know what I'm saying, just about what it is that you got going on. And I bring that back up because what you just said about what you see around you, where I've grown up at, and also the style of relationship that I'm in, that's actually what I grew up in. When I was in elementary, middle, and high school, interracial relationships was not a rarity. That just was not something that was uncommon. I can go out into my neighborhood right now and I can guarantee you, not exaggerating, there's at least 5 interracial couples within my neighborhood currently that are not just all black and white. It's Indian and Mexican, it's black and white, it's white and Hispanic. Like, this is like common in the area I grew up in. Now, this is an anomaly I found out through traveling, but that's because we actually live near an army base. So there's a lot of different people that come through here. And so growing up near that, that's what I'm used to seeing. So I don't think differently. So like what you were just saying, I never have once during my interracial relationship has been like, oh, black women just don't, man, those girls don't. I've never once did that. And I hate being lumped into the group with those niggas because I don't feel like that. I feel exactly what you just said. And I would actually kind of go back on what you said before about love being a choice. Only thing I would tweak about that was when you brought up attraction. I don't think attraction is a choice. I think that's a chemical reaction that happens in your body and brain, and you just are turned up by whoever turns you up. But I do agree that love is a choice because love is constantly picking that person through the ups and downs, as well as when times are not going great. And you're banking on, hey, I love you, I trust you, I believe in you, and you're going to go ahead and not necessarily get back to where you once were, but maybe even go beyond that. Or even if you don't, I'm here, ride or die, I'm locked in. I do agree love is a choice, and I hate the fact that people use the other people in their race to scapegoat it. I never once, like I said, never once in my entire life have been like, or in my relationship have been like, oh, black women this, or I don't like the sisters don't get this right. That's why I'm with the, like, that's never ever been my ideology. I just like who I like, and I'm attracted to who I'm attracted to, and that goes for a lot of different wide range of people. So it's really crazy to see that kind of thing. And this is just a hot take for me. I'm gonna come to the internet with it. It's a hot take for me. I personally find the race thing a weird parameter to put on your romantic relationship. I respect it for whomever it is, and if that's what you want to do your thing. I'm not going to tell you not to do it or do otherwise, but I think it's weird that there's so many amazing people out there in this world and you just not fucking with them because they don't match whatever color it is that you got going on, because they can match some experiences, not the black experience, but other cultural experiences. I'm sure we've all been in areas where there's non-black people who talk and move and look and act just like those people around them, and it's because of the culture that they've grown up in. There's a lot more that you can connect on than just the color of your skin and the experiences that those bring. And I don't personally rate that very high on my list of things that I connect with people on. It goes much more than just that.
Yeah, I think, it's just when it comes down to it, and this is really more so they point to, it was just like, it's the standard ordeal about it all is just and then more so from like a status and socioeconomic status is just like they're gravitating towards these type of people because they are looking for that type of person. It's like Rome said, like you said, like Ish was saying as well too. It's just like I'm not about to sit here and pick out of something that I don't like. I obviously have a preference, but it's like, don't sit here and then try to like act like that preference don't exist and just say that the whole reason why is because as a general, black people don't like me. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I date outside my race. It's like, nah, it's just that those specific black men, black women that you was trying to be with, like they just wasn't for you. But that's not to say that, like, we all saying is that there is another black person out there, you know what I'm saying, that is for you, that just may not check them boxes yet. You don't know. Like, people change, people evolve and things like that. You don't know. But just to be like to generalize black people and just say like, yeah, like, that's the reason why is because they all act like this and then none of them like me like that. You don't know about none of them. You only know about 10 of them. And 10 of them was the same 10 type of person. Like you, one after one, you pick the same type of person, thinking that eventually that person that didn't like you the first time was gonna like you again. Like it don't make no sense. So And then my thing too is that, like, and I want to ask y'all, like, did you, when this came out, I'm not gonna lie to you, I actually did have a wow factor, like Imani said. I did have a wow factor because I didn't know, and I didn't
know she was married.
for her. Not even that she was married. I actually did not expect for her to be married to a white man. I'm not gonna lie to you. That actually did caught me it caught me off guard. And just because of like that they were saying, it was just like the image that we have of Quinta Brunson now is like this individual that is authentically like black, like she's incorporating, she's from Philly, so Philly's already an authentic place as it is. She's incorporating that into her art form when it comes to acting, a predominantly black cast, and a cast that has a lot of mixture in it, addressing a lot of cultural things that go on in the world today and shit like that. So it's just kind of like, oh damn, like her husband is, quite frankly, very, very, like very white. Like that is a white man. So I was kind of like, yeah, like
Caucasian. That's
yeah,
not,
like
yeah.
yeah, like so I didn't know if y'all were surprised like yourselves about it too, like, and what y'all take on it was.
I wasn't. Listen, it's
I
hard
was
to
shocked she was
surprise me.
married. That I didn't know she was married. That was the only shock that I personally had. I didn't even know she was married. So to see she was getting a divorce confused the hell out of me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it didn't. It wouldn't surprise me. Same way it didn't surprise me. I'm not surprised. Like you can't like, hey man, these guys can't do a lot to surprise me. In the same way, I wasn't surprised when I found out D Rose was a white girl. All these guys are white people. It don't surprise me. Not in a bad way or anything. Like in a way of like, I just don't care. Like I just like honestly, my whole thing is I honestly do not care. And just speaking my point earlier, only way I care is, like I said, just don't scapegoat your counterparts. Just don't do none of that. That's weird stuff. I
do want to address something. I want to address something that they said as well when Ish was getting into like the whole, like numbers thing. And he was talking about you might not check that man's boxes because he's got different boxes. He don't need your education and income and all that stuff. One, great red pill talking points. I gotta say that nigga ran through the whole shebang. Goddamn. But I will also say for relationships, men, women, doesn't matter what style of relationship, something I truly believe and understand is it's the polarity. The polarity between the two, masculine and feminine, in that relationship is very important. And if more people focused on that, I think they would be in happier relationships. The women that are at that level, and I'm not talking about just black women, I'm talking about women in period who are at that level of success that he was talking about with the masters and the hundreds of thousands a year and things like that. There's a lot of things within their characteristics that do ooze of masculinity. That's what's needed in order to get to that spot of success. You need to be a head cutter, or you need to be a conqueror, you need to be a go-getter. That's all masculine traits, not male traits, masculine traits. And that being the case, those are things that you have to be driven to get to that point. And other masculine men who also are at that point are not necessarily looking for a masculine being to sit right next to them. They're not looking for another, alpha wolf. Like if I'm already top dog, I'm not looking for another top dog. If I'm a center for a basketball team, I'm not looking to play with another center. I need a point guard. I need a shooting guard with me. I don't need 2 7-footers over here fighting for position in the paint. I don't need 2 point guards looking to dish the rock and each have 12 assists in single-digit points. Like, we need polarity in the relationships. And so whenever a woman takes on a more masculine role, I understand why she wouldn't want to accept it because it's not natural, but for most women, but you would need to accept a more feminine man. That does not mean a more effeminate man, a more feminine man, meaning more in tune with his emotions, maybe more of a creative feel, more of a house maker, or more of somebody who's actually into the realm of caring and nurturing, and not just like go, put on my super suit, I gotta go be a soldier. Because we both can't do that in a romantic relationship. It just doesn't work most times.
It just gets to a point people just want the world to cater to them, to just kind of wrap around them and the way they view things, and the way, like I said, if you want something, you're gonna have to do the things that you have to do to make that thing happen.
Facts.
Like, okay, you can be the pantsuit, you can be, you know, super strong, and you have done the things, and like Quentin said, have the masculine traits that got you to where you are in life. That is fine, but you have to take inventory of what you want. Okay, you still want a masculine man. You have to understand, and like I said, there are situations where people that want to make these things work make these things work. If you want the masculine man, do the work. You're gonna go home and you submit to that man. And that's what you're gonna have to do to make that thing work. If you are okay taking liberties with that, and you're I'm not gonna change, that's fine too. You're gonna have to get the more feminine, the man with more feminine traits. You like that's just, it's the way the world works. And you know, people spend all this time trying to stick the square in the circle hole. Like I mean, you're gonna have constant heartache trying to do that, and that's just not the way the world works. I mean, at some point it just gets to hubris. I mean, who do you think you are really?
Yeah. Quite frankly, in simple quote, you can have it all, but you just can't have it all at once. You can have anything and everything you want. You just can't have it all at once. Things cost.
The unfortunate part about it too is that when we talk about the average day, you know, the daily life, you know what I mean, aspect of it is when we look at situations like this, it doesn't apply at all, because these are not average people, and that's why they're under the microscope so heavy. Is because like he was saying, it's like someone of that figure, like the entertainment realm. It's like these are the people that you're almost looking at like, oh well, you know, if what you do represents, you know, X, Y, and Z, then you should align your personal life with that. When, you know, now we're taking out that human aspect that we've been talking about, you know, in regards to you just love who you love, and, you know, you make your choices based off of that. So that kind of sucks. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm man enough to say as well too that I've actually been someone that I used to think that it was more so like it looked more accepted. Like it was something that I wouldn't bat an eye if I seen a black guy with a white girl versus a white girl with a black guy. That used to be something for me that, you know, it would be like, damn, that look a little, I don't know, that just look a little weird. As time has gone on, obviously that's something that's changed, but I can be man enough to admit that, you know, because that's just, depending on where you grow up, those are some like type of like, you know, societal norms that you just may not really, you know, pick up or may not develop until later. But I say all that to say that once again, you know, even though if it was a shock to you, end of the day, love is love, like we just been saying, you know what I mean? And these average situations, unfortunately, they're not applying to them right now because of who they are in status, but we still have to take that into account when we factor in and just evaluate the whole entire, you know, aspect of everything that's going on, you know? But crazy situation though. Yeah, that was a cool little argument. I definitely like to see that. Y'all gotta let us know what y'all thinking about it as well too, man. Please drop a comment, because we definitely need to know. This is a very, very heated topic, and also just one that it needs a lot of insight, because people gotta be able to evolve and grow when it comes to these situations. So let us know what y'all thinking. Influence someone. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna catch y'all, man. Peace.